making friendships. So let me just kind of read them in general. It says, it seems hard to make friends at an older age. How do I make them? Another question similarly says, if you don't have a squad, what are some ways to build those female friendships? And then another one is simply along the same lines. How do you create friendships, especially when you're accustomed to kind of being a loner and doing your own thing? So let me just attempt to answer that one first. Let me do that biblically. Biblically and quite honestly, naturally, the Bible says that he who has friends must first show himself friendly. And so in that's a very simple application. Show yourself friendly. And that doesn't necessarily mean, especially for those of us who have more introverted tendencies, and I use us graciously because that doesn't really fit me, but for those who have more introverted or more private type of tendencies, and you're just not a person who's like out and about gravitating towards everyone. When the Bible says he who has friends must first show himself friendly, it doesn't mean that all of a sudden you have to pretend and become this like large social butterfly. But you can be very clear about what a good friend is to you, your definition of friend. And so in that, if that's being loving, if that's being considerate, if that's being a good listener, if that's being loyal, if that's being faithful, whatever being a good friend is to you, you can begin to be that person even the more intentionally with people who are in your life or in your sphere or in your circle, or even people that you just encounter, with an intention or desire to develop good friendships. I don't want us to mistake being friendly with having to be an extrovert or having to garner up energy to be around a whole bunch of people, or to have to be the life of the party to get friends. Being friendly doesn't necessarily mean that. Being friendly is being those characteristics that lean towards making good friendships. So that's how I would say that. Just be the things to other people that you are looking for in a friend. Now, before you go there and say, I've tried that before and it didn't quite work out, I would say, and then ask God, layer 2, to give you discretion on where to expend that energy and that effort. You can ask God to show you who to interact with, who else is looking for friends just like I'm looking for friends. Or you can choose safer places. Like there's some places that you're going to be more apt to find someone who is like-minded with you. So whether you like to cook, you may desire to go to a cooking class and be intentional about developing a friendship with someone with a similar interest. Or you may go to a swimming class. Or you may even confide in a trustworthy person, like maybe your small group leader at church, or just someone that you've noticed that in a trusting manner, who you can say, hey, I'm trying to develop a friendship. So no matter the age or the stage, each of us can choose to demonstrate the characteristics that we are looking for in friendships. We can layer that with prayer. As a third layer, we can layer that with reaching out to people and even confiding in some people that we trust, that I'm being intentional about wanting to build some friendships. So hopefully that gives you a little insight on that. If you don't have friendships, if you're trying to build new friendships, and even if you're older, how do you lean into that the more? And I'm going to tell you, if you're looking for an easy, quick way to get solid, good friendships, it doesn't really work like that. There are people you may naturally click with, people that you may naturally gravitate towards the more, but you're still going to have to do the work of showing yourself friendly.